Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our exclusive webinar, Unleash Revenue Potential with Yukti, your AI powered demo expert. So, we are excited to have all of you here today. It's wonderful to see such a diverse audience eager to explore the future of AI driven sales and engagement. So, before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Nikhil Sharma, a strategist at Pulp Strategy and your host and moderator for today's session. So, to start, I want you to imagine this scenario. What if you had someone who could deliver flawless product demos 24/7? Someone who could simplify complex information, personalize engagement, and even after actionable intelligence, all while being as engaging as a human salesperson. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we are here to show you how Yukti, our AI powered humanoid, is making this dream a reality. So here's what you will take away from today's session. How Yukti can simplify complex information journeys, personalize engagement, pitch products, and improve discovery, provide actionable insights through dynamic dashboards, and seamlessly integrating into your sales team for enhancing closures. So we have packed the next hour with insights, live demos, and real-world use cases to show you how Yukti is revolutionizing sales and engagement. And don't forget, we'll wrap up with a live Q&A session. So get your questions ready. Now, let's dive into the agenda for today's session. Now, it's my honor to introduce our speaker for today, Ambika Sharma. So, Ambika Sharma, founder and chief strategist at Pulp Strategy, is a trailblazer in digital transformation with over 2 decades of experience in marketing, strategy, and technology. Under her leadership, Pulp Strategy has become India's youngest and most awarded independent agency, blending innovation, content, and technology to create measurable business impact. Ambika's leadership goes beyond the corporate sphere. Under her leadership, Pulse Strategy launched India's only AI humanoid platform, Yukti, revolutionizing customer engagement, and created Ingenio, which combines the power of AI and WhatsApp for channel and consumer engagement. Her initiatives have consistently redefined industry standards, winning 124 awards for some of the busiest brands across the globe. So join us as he shares transformative insights, strategic foresight about the potential of Yukti, blending creativity, technology, and strategy for sustainable growth. Please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to Ambika. Over to you.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I'll very quickly start with the agenda, beginning with a little bit about my agency. Business first. So we are a full stack digital agency. We offer transformational consulting and last mile execution of the strategy to our clients. Like Nikhil very nicely mentioned, yes, we are well awarded and well recognized for our work, 124 awards over the past 13 years. Some of our client relationships through time that we have existed, and some of these current as well. But let's move on quickly to the agenda, Yukti. So the AI humanoid, and I really look forward to your questions. But before I start with Yukti, let's just come to why a conversational humanoid. And with Ignite just having been over the Microsoft event, all the three large tech giants have been talking about 2025 as the year of the agent. That's really important for us to remember, but here is why. 80 billion is what will be saved by 2026 annually via AI by the call center industry. And this adoption has already started to a very large extent. India is the largest voice first internet market, and we have a 270% YOY growth for voice as per Google and Gartner. 60% of India's internet users, and we all know that there are a lot of internet users, leverage voice technology already. 75% of new internet users in India are non-English speakers, and therefore vernacular language support is substantial. So these are some of the problems that we solve for, including a few others, with Yukti. So very quickly, today we demonstrate how products and service brands are reliant on people. Thus, language availability and standard experience to customers always a consideration, and that's something as marketers and from what I see, some of the larger brands here, you have definitely faced at some point in time. Significant hours of bandwidth is engaged in repetitive questions, very basic customer questions, and that's something we rely on. So there are search techniques and all of these. But what this does is, especially if you're a B2B organization or if you have telesales or you have a large dealer network, precious productive hours is taken away from sales to be able to address these queries, which are important to address. Now, the focus area that we'll discuss, and we have a demo and a lot more information on Yukti, is using multimodal AI humanoid to engage with customers for top of the funnel and middle funnel conversations for dedicated SMB or consumer advisory engagement and growth desks. So this desk can actually rest on a website, and it is possible to kind of go through the top and middle funnel or partial top and middle funnel and then hand over seamlessly to sales via this. So very quickly, yes, that's our humanoid, and she's also live on our website. I'd love for you to have a chat with her sometime. We'll share the link right after this as well, so that you can have a conversation, and on your time. Always on digital experience, so it's 24/7. Manages repetitive engagements flawlessly with human-like conversation. So there isn't like a dialogue flow where she will repeat the same answer in the same manner every time. So the meaning remains the same, but yes, she will be able to have a conversation like a human, intelligent and consistent conversation. So all of the soft skills training and all of that is already done, and that conversation is possible to have. Multilingual, so we have 10 plus Indian languages and 65 others across the globe. So multilingual and multimodal capabilities for everybody. I'm sure you already know, but multimodal means that chat, input and output, video, output, voice, input and output is possible. So it's multimodal, different formats. And of course, this is a custom personality. So even though the front face or the form figure that you see on screen is of Yukti, who we developed for us as a front face. However, this figure can take any form. So potentially be Superman or teddy bear or, engineer Babu, whatever is it that fits the brand style and requirement is white labeled, and the front face can change accordingly. So fits beautifully within the brand persona and the positioning with the style. So clothing form factor, all of it. So what does Yukti actually do? So she's a customer concierge, whether you're B2B or whether you're B2C, she rests on the website. Natural language, lingual, so multiple languages, seamlessly can switch between languages as well. Is your typical AI engagement desk, only behaves like a human. So that's really exciting. Like I said, it's based on some of a combination of the top large language models out there, and therefore has a very large potential, can do more than a lakh conversations simultaneously, and potentially with extended machines, it can do even more, depending upon what the requirement is. With analytics. So a lot of times, yes, I know that we have personalization on our websites as brands. We have people coming in and there are heat maps. But what Yukti really is able to give with an AI dashboard is, what are people asking for? What kind of conversations are they having? What are the top questions? So potentially a far more detailed insight than you would get out of a generic search or a search engine, even if it is for your brand. So that is possible, and that makes things really exciting from a data and customer understanding point of view. And I'll go through that later in the slides as well. She almost sells while you sleep. So of course she can't transact directly, but sets up meetings, can connect live with a salesperson if you have tele teams. So double dual dial and connect with the sales team immediately. And of course has email and WhatsApp and all of those integrations, including integration to your CRM. And we'll also see a little bit of that as well. Can converse and engage with customers. So a little bit more detail into what the humanoid actually solves for. multiple conversations. So typically, your website or a brand's website can be a free flow of consumers from all directions. So if I look at it from a marketing perspective, the open funnel, the input to the funnel can be from social media, can be from search, can be from one of your campaigns, from television, from a QR code scan on your product, depending upon what is the journey which you would like to follow. All of those queries come in and then seamlessly transition into conversations with Yukti. Of course, like I said, she can schedule calendar appointments if that's the consumer journey that you choose, but can typically do demos, showcase videos, answer questions, smoothen the customer experience. We all know that customer advisory is a very large part of the expense, and that is why we have complex YouTube channels with content, and we have influencers, and all of that will continue. But this could be the brand voice, the brand talking to the consumer one on one. And potentially, the humanoid, and I'll continue to call her Yukti for now, potentially saves large man hours engaged in simple or repetitive queries. Of course, there's always on digital experience for SMBs, enhances product information for consumer and SMB both by automating these interactions, ensuring language availability and consistency in experience, which is, a continuous struggle. So there's this endless loop of training and retraining and deployment and iteration, especially if you're looking at humans front facing that effort at the top of the funnel. And demonstrating AI in action is obviously seamless standardized journey and is a first mover advantage as well. Responsibly and socially trained AI. So this is really important because I get a lot of questions around this. Responsible AI is, well trained. So like the perfect soft skills training already exists within the product, can be trained on brand voice. So can be a little fun and peppy, can be super serious, depending upon the product and the brand, and of course the what the brand wants in terms of voice. But there are safeguards in place. So there are guardrails in place to ensure that the conversation does not, veer out of that brand box, and can be very interestingly brought back if it is veering out. So that is, the best part in terms of soft skills training that the humanoid has. That while she has potentially information about everything that's happening in Bollywood, in Hollywood, um, God forbid in politics if she can keep up, but it's not necessary that there is an allowance to veer into those conversations at all. So super safe, very to point, but can have intelligent, interesting conversations at the same time within the brand scope and the space. Formal checks for responsible AI are continuously on, and therefore security and reliability, because she is built on one of the top platforms and we use the best in technology. So there is a reliability and security there as well. So very quickly, before I actually get into what is it that Yukti can do, like I said, simplify complex information journeys. So a lot of times products, particularly complex products, have a lot of problems that they solve for the consumer, right? And one size might not fit all. So consumers do not have to have linear journeys, more like what they have on the website, right? And UI UX is developing so fast, and it's becoming better every day, but the consumer still has to find what they are looking for on a website, and it's not readily available to them. So simplifying complex information journeys and assisting in discovery of what's available on the site or what's available with the brand is very important. Personalized engagement, pitch products. So I might come to, typically, let's say hypothetically, a Microsoft website, and I'm not an MWS customer. I might be a Teams customer, but I don't want to have to go hunting for what Teams can do for me or a simple question that I might have around Teams. So I just need to be able to ask the humanoid, as compared to searching through all of the products to actually find my query. Even if I have to use a website search, it still is a not so seamless experience as compared to a humanoid. And I'm not saying that all websites are going to, you know, step over the horizon into the oblivion, but yes, this is an add-on which improves discovery and therefore improves the engagement as well, and is able to answer all questions without veering off point. There's the potential to hand off to the human in the sales team or send a code for purchase in case you're a B2C organization and let's say you have Amazon codes to give out, which are currently on your website, or you would like to add to cart potentially. That is also a possibility if the product advisory is included as part of the humanoids, work profile. So a brand can reduce manpower dependency and get expansive insights into what their consumers want, can get information and resolve queries about products from a client or a customer perspective, get recommendations and advisory on variations and add-ons. So there are products for business, starter kits around the same product. So there are multiple SKUs, and I still need to figure out what is good for me and which one will fit me and my requirement as a customer. So potentially she can advise on that and help with product discovery and also answer compete questions, comparative questions, and all of that to full potential of what the product has to provide. Get recommendations and advisory on add-ons as well. So a lot of times what we do is on the website you buy X and therefore you unlock, let's say, an offer on Y. So that is also possible for her to handle. It's very updated. It doesn't take like a lot of man hours of work to kind of figure out these changes, or changes like put on a Santa hat for that matter, and can set up meetings, including getting a customer sales history. So here's a hypothetical. There is a IT product. I see there are a lot of people from that background within here. So let's say there's an IT product, a SaaS-based product, and a customer comes to the website for advisory. It's a middle funnel conversation, wants to see a demo, wants to set up a meeting, and all of that is done. Now this enters the CRM. The meeting is set up with the sales team. Simple, straightforward calendar block from both ends. Meeting is set up with the sales team. The sales team will get a download of all of the questions and conversations, including a short synopsis of what conversation the customer has already had. So the journey is not broken. So I, as a telesales or a salesperson, can just pick up the phone and say, okay, hi, Nikhil. I see that you were looking for MWS and I understand that you need a starter pack. Can I help you? And how can I make this happen for you? So it's just seamless from there. And of course, there's query handling, which is possible. All of the demos are via video. So there are pre-recorded videos which can be used for demo. And potentially, if you plug in a demo within the site or the space where Yukti rests, it's possible technically to have a live demo as well. That depends on product to product, but definitely video demos are available, and she can potentially pull out of thousands of videos to get the right demo to the consumer immediately. So there goes all of the pain points of having to search through endless videos to kind of figure out which little thing makes that product click for you as a consumer. So great. I did say that Yukti has been live on our website for a while, and she did make her way to a lot of news stories, and therefore ended up having a lot of conversations and addressed over 1 million questions. And we picked out some very interesting questions that Yukti has answered so far, and we put that into a little video for you. It's quite interesting. Let me just play this.
It seems you're trying to cast me in a starring role. While that sounds like an exciting plot twist, my expertise lies in providing information about Pulp strategy and its services. I'm an AI, so I don't have feelings. But thanks for asking. As charming as that question is, I'm focused on helping you with insights about Pulp strategy. Trying to take a turn into politics, are we? Let's steer back to Pulp Strategy's expertise in digital strategies. Sure. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
A couple of years ago, Google released one of the top voice questions, I think, for their voice search assistant. And the top question was, "Will you marry me?" So I think the trend hasn't changed a whole lot, even with the advent of technology. But I see that people still joining in. That is great. Let me just move on. Great. So now I have a demo for you, and I know that Yukti is available on the website to test and talk, but I thought that it would be great to have a differentiated use case. And I know you can see a white screen, and that's just the demo about to play. But for that, I just want to set a little bit of context. So here is a demo for a product called Copilot. And a lot of you would have heard about Copilot, and of course, it's made a lot of waves, and it's an AI assistant that kind of rests within Microsoft Office, right? So I thought that it'd be a really great idea because it's a new product and it's so relevant for corporates to be able to put together a demo in which anybody, SMB, so a single license, and it doesn't have any freemium version. So a single license purchaser could also come to the website and potentially see if Copilot as a product is relevant for them or not. And so it's an SMB. So for corporates or small teams, an SMB advisory desk that we have created, and for the purpose of this meeting. And let's see how she's able to handle those questions and how the demos come forth. Before I get into that and play this for you, there's a little bit of a background. So Copilot, remember I mentioned all of the SKUs. So Copilot has multiple versions. So there's a Copilot for Teams. There's a Copilot for PowerPoint, very relevant for marketing folks. There's a Copilot for Excel, possibly relevant for marketing as well as a lot many other team members who use Excel a lot. And within other Microsoft products, everything that goes within Office, outside as well. And there's a designer and all of that. So what we did was we trained Yukti, and we renamed the humanoid Ava. We trained her to be able to address not just the product questions, but also use case questions. So if you're a product manager, she would be able to tell you about the use cases for Copilot for a product manager. But if you're a designer, then she'll be able to handle. So you just need to let her know, okay, I'm a designer and tell me what Copilot can do for me. And then she'll pick up the conversation from there and kind of go ahead. So let me just play this for you.
Hi there. Did you know we at Pulp Strategy have developed a conversational AI humanoid? That means that the AI humanoid is completely customizable. She can take on any name, any brand color, even adapt to your specific brand's voice. Today, I'm going to give you a demo for Ava, the AI humanoid that we have developed and trained to talk about Copilot and Microsoft specifically. So as I click on the Ava icon, I'm redirected to a landing page where I need to put in my credentials before starting to have a conversation with her. As Ava shows up on the screen, she greets you before starting to have one-on-one conversations with you.
I'm Ava, your friendly AI companion. As Microsoft Copilot's presenter, I'm here to guide you through Copilot.
For this demo, I'm going to act like a product manager who wants to improve productivity in my team using Copilot. Let's see how Ava can help me out in this. Hello, I'm the product manager of our team, and I'm interested in understanding how Microsoft Copilot can enhance user productivity.
Hello there. Microsoft Copilot can significantly enhance user productivity by streamlining workflows through its AI-powered solutions.
Ava, can you show me how can I effectively utilize Copilot within Microsoft Teams to improve collaboration and productivity?
Copilot in Microsoft Teams meetings is an AI tool designed to enhance your meeting experience. During meetings, Copilot provides real-time summaries by capturing key discussion points, identifying speakers, and highlighting areas of agreement or disagreement. To the demo. Curious about Copilot or anything else? Fire away.
Ava can also handle out-of-the-box questions as well. Let's try out. Ava, what's your favorite superhero?
Hey, clever. But as an AI, I don't have personal favorites or the thrill of donning a cape. Speaking of superheroes, though, Microsoft Copilot might just save your day when you're swamped with work in your data ocean. Ready to learn how it can be your workplace hero?
Now, this is where the AI humanoid really stands out. Every interaction generates valuable insights. Here, you can see metrics on customer preferences, common questions, and even geographical trends, all in one place. With these insights, you'll understand what matters most to your customers, helping you make data-driven business decisions to enhance your offerings and streamline operations. In conclusion, you can imagine this conversational humanoid to be an AI concierge that's customized just for your brand, engaging customers, answering questions, and providing business insights as well. So, ready to see how you can use it in action for your business? Book a demo today, and let's explore how it can transform your customer experience and business growth.
Great. So I'd love to hear some questions here. We'll have enough time to be able to address them. And if you have a particular industry use case, I can try and answer that as well. If you let me know a little bit around the industry. So having said that, we were talking about the funnel. So this is a very simple linear funnel. I know most funnels are more complex than this, but this is just to kind of make a point. So there is, you can see on your left that there are inputs into the funnel, typically to your website. Some of this already might be happening, but you have social media, you have search, you have your website organic traffic, which might have come from SEO or your blog or whichever way. Then there's traditional media, which could be retail. It could be television. It potentially could be your out of home or your product packaging or anything else for that matter, radio. And then there are other sources as well. Maybe your dealers are sending people your way. Maybe you are co-aligned with applications, or you have channel partners that need to come to your website. And therefore, this also acts as an advisory desk for them. They chat with Yukti. Again, we'll call her Yukti, but you now know that the front face can change. And this could be potentially anybody. She answers questions, and at the same time, insights are being collected at every stage. So for every user journey, you would have insights. We typically recommend that it be a sign-in. So people sign in so that you're able to get a little bit more information on the profile, but it works either ways. It's not necessary to capture PII data if you don't want to. It still captures the questions and what are people asking around and which of your products are more popular or which of your products need more information to, kind of be a little bit more enduring for the customer and all of those. After which there is a call to action. We definitely don't want that people drop off if there is an alternative. So she could book a meeting. How that works is that a calendar gets opened on screen and the customer can book right away. She can connect to telesales. So should I dial for you? And if you say yes and input your phone number, dials to the call center, much like any call center kind of functions. So it's a very simple existing, if you already have one, or a new third-party plugin, and it dials both ways, and the customer can right there start talking to the sales. Email a proposal. So yes, they can create a proposal at the back end if you already have a set format in place on how to customize that. And of course, the technology makes it possible, and that can go in potentially within a couple of minutes. Similarly, can go open up a WhatsApp conversation as well, and then that can be taken forward. So almost all of these are possible today. And if there is an alternative in terms of a CRM integration, as long as there's an API, that is possible as well. Now, once the conversation carries forward, there is, of course, data and insights. And what could you potentially do with that data? Of course, improve sales training. So hypothetically, if there are region-based insights and you have a new salesperson taking up, kind of taking on that region or needs to improve his pitch or her pitch, or let's say reach out to these customers who have already come on the website and, potentially are ready for conversion but are still floating around in the middle of the funnel, then it can improve the sales training, make the pitch really personalized by person, if, especially if you're a B2B organization and the ticket size is a little bit higher and the personal touch with the consumers a little more required. Social media and advertising content. So a lot of times organizations rely on listening and insights and some very generic inputs from, let's say, research papers or brand books or brand tracks, which they create themselves. This could potentially add in a lot of value there, depending upon how advanced that information flow is within individual organizations. And of course, possibly also go into service or product improvements based on the kind of feedback and the question which the customers are asking. And there are many more potential use cases for data. I mean, we all know data is like the new oil and all of that, but there are these possibilities. Great. So that brings me to the end of the demo. I'd love to be able to take questions, and I'll kind of give everybody a minute, and then kind of start picking up those questions.
So guys, you can send in your questions in the chat box so we can take up one by one.
Okay, so while all of you put in your questions, I have one here. How long does it potentially take to train the humanoid? So that's a great question. It doesn't take substantially long, but a time to from, let's say, agreement that yes, let's go with the humanoid to a point where the humanoid can go live, you can look at 5 to 6 weeks. The training itself, of course, you need to have the document, which could be simple, and my team can kind of put that into the backend and code the way that it is required. But all of that information needs to be documented. There's also information that is scrapped from the website, and therefore this training document can take anything between 2 weeks to 3 weeks within those 4 or 5 weeks time. So typically from day one to the end of week 5 or the middle of week 6, the bot AI humanoid can actually go live on the website and after testing and Q&A. So that's like a timeline.
So I can see a lot of people raising their hands to ask questions. So what you all guys can do is type in your questions in the chat box so Ambika can quickly answer them.
So Zuhair has a question here. Shall I just go ahead and unmute? So I'll
So we have a
just
question here.
unmute you. Yes, please.
Hi Ambika, hi Nikhil.
Hi,
Actually,
Zuhair.
your chat is also disabled. That's why most probably your people are trying to type in and they can't able to. Even I was trying to type, but we don't have
Sorry
an
for
option.
that. I'm not sure why that's happening, but that's a little silly on our part. But let me just, if everybody can just raise hands, I can kind of manage that. We can manage that from here and unmute the mic. So go ahead, Zuhair, please.
Yeah. So I'm from Genève. I handle digital marketing over here, end-to-end marketing automation. I kind of have a use case that I want to inquire whether Yukti actually suits that requirement or not. So
Sure, please go ahead.
we run hyper personalized emails, dynamic, wherein we use dynamic content in the emails. And we are actually in search of tools that can actually connect with the user's LinkedIn profile or whatever information they have shared across the database enrichment platforms like Apollo and all that stuff. And simultaneously, it can type in the opening message, the closing, the body of the message so that it can be very much relatable to the person. I mean, for example, if I'm writing an email to you, hi reader. So reader is so generic
Understand.
that that might never get your attention. Hi Ambika would be more familiar. Similarly, if the opening statement says Hi Ambika, congratulations for your new product launching or Yukti in the company Pulp strategy. So the opening
Yeah.
statement of the email itself would gain your attention. Similarly, how
Mm.
can we use Yukti's AI bot systems to write such engaging and hyper personalized emailers and reach out to our relevant audience?
That's a really great use case, Zohair. But unfortunately, at this time, Yukti is designed to be a customer front face, right? So within a set item, and she doesn't scrap the internet for information on individual. Um, Particular individual. So let's say hypothetically cannot go to a LinkedIn profile, can get information about the company, but not necessarily about an individual. Two reasons there. One, from an AI use case perspective, responsible AI would not allow us to do that. And that framework is what we follow. And from a second perspective, the purpose of the product is, we haven't explored the side wherein she can automatically have a conversation on email uh, after getting information from the internet, right? So email conversations are possible from a technology perspective, just not with the current product.
And is LinkedIn outreach or WhatsApp messaging is possible by Yukti? We can have integrations with these platforms or something like that.
So LinkedIn does not allow third-party plugins at this
Mm.
point, but WhatsApp integrations are possible, yes.
Okay. And if we go for a demo scheduling, then will we be allowed to have these integration tested out with our CRMs or with our database teams to see what all features we can leverage in our already existing module that we have in our service section and marketing section?
So I think that would be step two, but we can definitely, explore that in a one-on-one conversation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, most welcome. Any other questions? Any potential use cases that I could help you with?
So there is a question.
Yeah.
So the question is by Aman. Can you explain some real life use cases for this for both B2B and B2C brands?
Okay. So, good question, lengthy question, but yeah, from a B2B perspective, I think the showcased use case which I shared for Copilot is like a live example, right? Wherein it's a new product. There are a lot of questions around it, a lot of hype around the product, but not necessarily everybody gets AI right. And particularly from a co-pilot perspective, people want it's a business utility space, so people want to know what kind of advantage would it drive for them and their brand or their function within the organization, and therefore they the amount of queries that could potentially come in based on the searches that we saw around Copilot when we were building this use case potentially would need thousands of people in terms of telesales to be able to address the questions, and most of them would be repetitive, right? What can Copilot do? Can Copilot make a presentation, for example, was one of the top searches, and that had thousands of monthly averages at that point in time. So yes, Yukti or Eva or whatever would be able to address these questions one-on-one, showcase a demo, and then funnel a ready customer, a warm lead ready for conversion or conversation into the sales team, and not have the sales team answer potentially so many questions. Now, B2C possibly, this was B2B, B2C possibly could be a little bit easier, right? Because the volume is already there. So let's take a hypothetical. If you were a um, skincare brand, potentially with multiple product lines and SKUs, and skincare brands do create, different subcategories or lines or release products for different age groups as well. So you have potentially skincare with different types of skin, 4 or 5 product lines, and an entire regimen that goes along with that skincare. So you're talking about 50 odd products just for skincare, and one size doesn't fit all. So in that case, Yukti could potentially be a skincare expert based on the website, can use AI to scan faces, get a little bit of input in terms of what the skin actually needs, recommend a regimen, walk through the regimen, recommend the products that that particular consumer should ideally use based on their skin type and on the conversation that they have with them. I'm thinking aloud here, but yeah, also be able to put the product package, that entire bundle of products into the cart, connect on WhatsApp, and set out a 8-day reminder or a 10-day reminder for the consumer to be able to use the product and also do the right things like an assistant, which is great for their skin. So that's the kind of engagement that Yukti could possibly drive for, let's say, an FMCG brand.
So there's one more question. What if the product gets updated frequently or there are new launches lined up? So how can we update the training document and how frequently can the training document be updated?
So the training document can be updated as frequently as the brand wants. Of course, potentially with new launches, it would be required to kind of update the training document every time that there is a new launch, so that there are product demos, there are product details, and all of that. And it's not potentially a time-taking task. Like, it's not a task that has to be that's a burden on the brand.
I think we are good now. So thank you everyone for your thoughtful questions. And a big thank you, Ambika, for those detailed responses. So if we
Thank you so
wouldn't
much.
get to question you guys today, so don't worry, you can connect us after the webinar ends. And as we wrap up, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us today. So we hope you found this session insightful and valuable. So as we all know, Yukti is truly redefining what's possible in sales and engagement. And we are excited about the opportunities this AI-powered humanoid can bring to your businesses. So if you're ready to explore Yukti's further, or you want to see how it can fit into your unique needs, so we invite you to connect with us for a one-to-one discussion. A team is here to help you unlock the next level of revenue growth. So you'll receive basically a follow-up email shortly with all the resources from today's session, along with the link to schedule your personalized demo with Yukti. Once again, thank you for joining us. Stay future ready, stay innovative, and we'll see you in the next session. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Have a great day.